Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm going to be your occupational therapist today. I see you're here because you've had a stroke, and because of that you're struggling with some subluxation of your left arm and some flexor tone in your leg and some vision problems, specifically with the motor control. And then you've also lost sight in both left sides of your eye. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the purpose of these screenings that we're going to do is we are going to try and narrow down what those positive screens mean, so that we can plan interventions that will be the most beneficial to you. What we're going to do is we're going to test some of the muscles in your eye and how the functions are going. So I'm going to hold this object right here, and I'm going to bring it closer to your nose, and I want you to keep your eyes right on it, and I'm going to look for the point where your eyes can't come together anymore. They can't converge anymore, okay? Okay, so it's right about there is where like you couldn't keep it together anymore. So you did really well, and because it was within about 4 inches of your nose, it seemed like it was okay. But it was like right on the edge, so we're going to keep an eye on that as well. No pun intended. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do something very similar. I'm going to hold the pen right here, and I want you to try and follow it, okay? I messed up. 1 second, let me start again. I'm going to do another one. I'm just going to test and then follow. Is the light from the window bothering your eyes? So focus on it.
It's a little bright, but it was okay.
It was okay. I just noticed that you were blinking a lot. So if you want, I can close the blinds a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I didn't notice any problems with your eye movements, which is good because usually with a stroke, they'll struggle with some of like the movements on one side, getting their eyes over to that side. So now we're going to test something called cicadas, which is basically the rapid eye movements. So if you're driving and you need to look really quickly from one side to the other, that's the eye movement that you're going for right now. So I'm going to hold 2 objects in front of your eyes about 6 to 8 inches apart and right about here. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you look from the pink one to the green one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then back to the pink one. Now to the green and to the pink. Great. Now look to the green, now to the pink. And the green, and to the green, to the pink, to the green, to the pink. Good. So that was cicadas. I want to do that one more time, but I want to test from side to side. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
So look at the pink one, now to the green one, use the pink one, to the green one, to the pink one, to the green one, to the pink one, to the green one, to the pink. Good. How was that? Any pain or struggle?
It was a little slow going to the left, but to the right was fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna test the range of motion of your eyes. So I just want to see how far you can move your eyes in one way without until your muscles get weaker or until your eye kind of gets tucked underneath an eyelid or something like that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you cover one eye right here, and then I'm gonna have you follow the pen without moving your head from one side to the other. Okay.
Okay.
There.
Mm-hmm.
About there.
See it.
Okay. Now we're gonna go up in a diagonal pattern. And tell me when. About there.
Yeah. Can't see.
We're gonna go the opposite way. You ready? Now we're gonna switch sides.
Like that?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna do the exact same thing. Ready?
Mm-hmm. There.
A little bit further on this side, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Let's see it. There.
We're gonna go diagonals now.
There. There.
And then the other way, okay? Last one.
There. Still see it. There.
Oh, so you're a little bit better on one side than the other. We're gonna do it together, both eyes together now. So I want to see how both the eyes kind of fill in the blanks.
There. So as long as I can see it in peripherals,
Yep.
I can still see it.
So I'm looking to see how far the eyes can go, how far they can move. Running into the couch a little bit, but that was really good. So your eyes did better together, which is good. But I did notice that on one side there was a little bit more, or I guess a little bit less range of motion, and we'll work on that. Okay, so normally with this one I would do, I'd have another person, but since I'm the only therapist here today, we're gonna do it mostly together, and I want you to tell me when these pens can come into your peripheral vision. So I want to see at what point your eyes start to pick up on things in your peripheral vision. Okay? So I'm going to have you cover one eye again.
Okay. And this one?
Yeah, we'll start with that one. So I want you to look at the pink pen until it's too far into your peripheral vision.
Okay. There.
Okay. And then on the other side as well.
There.
Okay. And then I want to do up and down as well, okay?
There. There.
And now we're going to switch eyes.
Okay.
Be careful, don't poke your eye out.
There.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Your eyes are getting tired?
There. Yeah. A little bit.
A little bit. They're starting to twitch a little bit more.
There.
Your elbow will probably get in the way. No. Keep your chin up though. Don't tuck your chin. Somewhere in between.
There.
Yeah, okay.
there.
Very good. There you go, I'll take this. You've done very well. We finished all of the visual screenings that I wanted to do today. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna test for unilateral neglect. So I'm gonna have you take this pen and draw a clock. Good. And then now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you touch your right hand to your left hand.
I don't know.
Can you touch your right thumb to your right first finger? And go ahead and, okay, so now we're going to test some reflexes on this side of your body. So the first ones that I'm going to do are some reflexes we have as children, and sometimes when we get injured, they kind of represent themselves, which can be good, it can be bad, it depends on the reflex, and I just want to see if you react at all, okay? So if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and hold your hand,
Okay.
and I'm going to apply pressure on this side of your hand. So in children, usually what they do is they kind of hold onto your thumb, you know. In here, I'm not seeing any reaction, so it's absent in your hand. The other thing I'm going to have you do, I'm going to hold your hand like this, and I'm going to apply like a brush stroke. And usually with the hand, it will react or it will twitch. But I'm not seeing anything here. And then I'm going to test for a couple reflexes. So I'm going to go ahead and roll up your sleeve. And I'm gonna find your bicep tendon, which is right there. And then I am going to tap my thumb, and it should jerk. Usually I have a mallet, and I'll hit it with the small end. There was no reaction there. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take off your watch. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna find your brachioradialis muscle right here, and then I have my mallet, and I'm going to tap my thumb, and there was no reaction, so we know that it's absent on this side. There's not even a motor reflex, and we're going to work to get those back. Okay, so for the last screening that we're going to do today, I'm going to test how tight the muscles of your back leg right here, the back of your leg, are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a supporting hand right here on your thigh, and then I'm going to move your leg through the range of motion very quickly, okay? Good job. So now that we've completed your screenings, we've found some things we need to work on for interventions. And we found that your eyes don't have the same range of motion that would be found in an average adult male. So we will need to work on those, because if you don't have the full range of motion, it is a safety concern. Maybe you don't see something coming from your vision. You could trip if you don't see something that's below your range of motion. Or maybe if you can't see above, there's like a low-hanging branch, or something like a cabinet open and you don't see it, you can hit your head and it will be a safety concern. Just like that, if you're tripping and you don't have the motor control to reach out on one side, that reflex, then it's also a safety concern. The last screen was the perception, and because you have unilateral neglect, meaning you don't see or recognize the left side of your body, it's also considered a safety concern because you sometimes misjudge the distance between you and things on the left side, or you don't even recognize them, so you'll run into things, or maybe your hand will get caught in a door, or in like a wheelchair spoke, and so we really want to make sure that we're progressing on these things so that your safety is not a concern.
Okay.
So for interventions, what we'll do is we're going to try and do things in your peripheral visions more so that your body can regain some of the strength in those muscles. So playing card games or maybe reading signs as you pass them from your peripheral vision. The other thing that we're going to do is I'm going to have, from this point on, I'm going to do all of our interventions from this side. I want you to be aware of the left side of your body, and so for the most part I'm going to sit on this side and I'm going to try and interact with your left side of your body. So I may touch your knee or I may touch your arm and try and interact more so that your body can pick up on signals coming from this side of your body.
Okay.
And then for the motor reflexes, we're going to try and incorporate the left side of your body more often. So for activities that we do, so if you're meal prepping and you want to eat lunch, we're going to make a PB&J. I'm going to have you take your right hand and interact with your left hand and open jars or stabilize papers, things like that.
Okay.
Hold the plate as you're putting things down on it so that we can start to reintegrate some of the signals from your brain to your arm.
Okay.
Okay? Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Okay, let's get you back.